A drone attack took place in the city of Chbaksari, Czechoslovakia, Russia. Local Telegram channels reported this. Ukrainian kamikaze drones struck the Progress plant, which produces antennas for the Russian army. As a result of the strike, an explosion and fire occurred at the plant. The moment the drone struck the plant building and exploded was filmed by local residents and shared on Telegram channels. The footage also shows one of the drones being shot down. There is no information about casualties. The Comet antennas produced by the plant protect drones used by the Russian military from electronic warfare equipment. It should be noted that the city of Chbaksari is located approximately 1,200 kilometers from the border with Ukraine.
Сейчас Chbaksari уебет нахуй.
Это дрон, реально!
Реально?
Да, это
Я
дрон!
бля буду!
Это дрон!
Дрон это, блядь.
Украинский, это как называется, сука, это...
Бля!
Слышь, он все ниже.
Она в Chbaksari летит сейчас. Она в Чеба летит сейчас.
Это дрон!
Several explosions rocked the temporarily occupied city of Kharkiv in Donetsk region of Ukraine, with local reports pointing to a hit on a Russian ammunition depot. Multiple secondary detonations followed, indicating the likely destruction of stored munitions. The target was successfully hit. A powerful secondary detonation was recorded, the nature of which indicates explosions of anti-aircraft guided missiles and ammunition for multiple launch rocket systems. The results of the fire damage are being clarified, the General Staff of the Armed Forces says. Explosions were heard in the temporarily occupied city of Luhansk and fires broke out at several facilities after drone strikes. TASS, a Kremlin-aligned Russian state-owned news outlet, citing the occupying authorities of the so-called Luhansk People's Republic, stated that more than 20 drones had flown over Luhansk on July 2. Andriy Kovalenko, head of the Ukrainian Center for Countering Disinformation, said that Russian logistics are burning in the temporarily occupied city of Luhansk. The Ukrainian military command did not comment on the explosions. Ukrainska Pravda is currently unable to independently verify this information. On the night of July 3, Ukraine struck JSC Energia in Lipetsk region, which is engaged in the serial production of batteries and accumulators for universal planning and correction modules. This is a Russian development that turns conventional free-falling aviation bombs into gliding aviation bombs with increased accuracy and range. The operation was carried out by the Unmanned Systems Force in cooperation with other components of the defense forces. This military-industrial complex enterprise also produces batteries and accumulators for the Iskander-M operational tactical missile systems, the Kh-35UC-based cruise missiles, and energy modules for specialized systems. On July 4, units of the Unmanned Systems Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, in cooperation with other components of the defense forces, struck the JSC, Federal Scientific and Production Center, Research Institute of Applied Chemistry. The Institute of Chemistry is located in the Moscow region. As reported by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the enterprise currently carries out, in particular, the production of thermobaric warheads for Shahid-type UAVs, and is an important link in the armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine. Our weapons have confirmed that they have directly hit the target. A fire and heavy smoke have been recorded in the area of the facility. The results of the strike are being clarified, the General Staff noted. It is noted that the defense forces continue to take all measures to undermine the enemy's ability to carry out airstrikes on Ukraine and force Russia to stop armed aggression against Ukraine.
The elimination of high-ranking Russian military leaders will prevent the Russian Federation from planning certain actions at the front. This was stated by Alexei Getman, a veteran of the Russian-Ukrainian war, a reserve major, on air on Radio NV. In the army, when a commander is killed, an acting one is immediately appointed. That is, it is not like they will be left completely without leadership, but a new person must take over the case. Figure it out. This complicates the work of the unit. All these soldiers who were destroyed testify to how successfully our GUR, SBU or SSO, who directly participated in the preparation, can work. We understand that they arrived when they needed to. It was not just luck. Intelligence worked, knew where and when they would gather, said Getman. At the same time, he added that such liquidations also cause fear in Putin himself. After all, he sees how the special services work. Mossad is resting. Putin must understand that according to the law, he is also our legitimate target, and I am sure that sooner or later he must also be destroyed. Earlier it became known that Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy Mikhail Gudkov was killed in the Kursk region. According to the Russian side, 10 war criminals were killed in the strike. Many of them were senior officers, the new brigade commander, his deputies, battalion commanders and service chiefs. In addition, the day before, the Ukrainian armed forces struck the command post of the 8th Combined Arms Army of the Russian Armed Forces in the temporarily occupied territory of Donetsk Oblast. Such an attack significantly complicates the enemy's ability to plan and conduct operations in the directions of Pokrovsk and Toretsk. The Ukrainian Defense Forces will continue to consistently destroy the command and control system and communications of the armed forces of the aggressor country. Ukraine continues to fight until all Russian troops are withdrawn from the territory of our state and a fair and lasting peace is established, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine noted.